Joining us with reaction, we welcome David Horowitz, author of the book Blitz, Trump Will Smash the Left and Win. All right, he's joining us this morning. David, good to see you here. Some harsh words from the president there, calling Joe Biden stupid. What do you think of the president's comments and, what he said during his speech yesterday?
Stupid is crying. He's a liar. Look, he's the one who fleeced this country. He's the one who got China into the World Trade Organization, who lost us tens of thousands of jobs, who lost us whole industry, well, tens of thousands of industries, actually. And because he put his finger to the wind and sees that American people supported Trump and looks at all of Trump's successes, and suddenly he's an America firster. He's accused Trump of not listening to his medical advisors. All his medical advisors are Democrats. Fauci, Birx, Redfield, they're all Democrats from the Center for Disease Control. Not one of them has ever said that Trump defied them in dealing with the coronavirus. Yet Biden is running on Trump is chaotic and he doesn't know what he's doing and he's anti-science. These are all monstrous lies, and the idea that Trump is a liar. The Democrat Party lies every time any of its representatives move their lips, for crying out tears. And that's one reason why the polls are, well, they're more than tightening. I think Trump is well ahead by now. We've learned not to trust these polls.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, we saw what happened in 2016 in regards to the polls. Just want to go back to that speech, too, because he didn't just stop with Joe Biden here. He also went after the VP nominee on the left side, Kamala Harris, calling her very liberal and also not competent as well. Your thoughts on those remarks?
That's also very kind of him. She's not a liberal. She's a radical. She just traveled to Kenosha and told Jacob Blake, who was shot by cops in Kenosha resisting arrest, that she was proud of him and his family. His father's a raving anti-Semite. But what did Jacob Blake do? The cops were called by his ex-wife, the mother of his children, because he had raped her and then stole her car and her credit card and drove off with the kids in the back. And when the police came to arrest him, resisted arrest, endangering the lives of his children. This is a lowlife. How can you be proud of such an individual?
Yeah, I think a lot of people, at least reporters, would like to question the senator's decision to make those stops and potentially question her language to describe him as well. But they weren't given the opportunity. As we saw, she didn't take public questions. I want to switch gears here with you and talk to you about Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg, who had recently taken to Twitter with the video saying that we might need an election correction after the votes are actually tallied. Watch this.
One of the things that I think we and other media need to start doing is preparing the American people that there's nothing illegitimate about this election taking additional days or even weeks to make sure that all of the votes are counted. In fact, that might be important to make sure that this is a legitimate and fair election.
Yeah, David, your thoughts on when hearing that the final results might not be for a few days?
Who's Mark Zuckerberg to be making statements like that about our elections? Who elected him to anything? I think that the tech giants are out of control. They're heavily biased in favor of the Democrats because the Democrats have threatened them, with breaking them up. Personally, it's something I agree with. The tech companies their monopolies have to be broken up. They have way too much power. But we can't have the, individuals who get there because they're clever at marketing and coming up with new technologies to decide on the fate of our country. I just think it's terrible that he's making statements
I gotta
Right.
say, when I sign on to Facebook, it pops up with a notification for me, at least, to request an absentee ballot. So that kind of notifies you if you're logging into the app there. So potentially reaching a few more people that way through their phone. David, got about 30 seconds with you here. You know, when there is talk of still sending out these mass mail-out ballots, we've already seen North Carolina mail out their absentee ballots. Are you still sticking with, as your book suggests, Trump will smash the left and win? Have you gotten any more hesitant about that?
Not in the least. And I've been saying for months before this so-called poll tightening has taken place, that what Americans, all people, whether they're Democrats or Republicans or independents, the first thing they want from their government is safety, security. They want borders to stop terrorists, to stop criminals, and to stop viruses from crossing them. The Democrats are for open borders. They want their cities to be safe. The Democrat mayors in all these major cities, we've had eruptions of violence in 48 of our largest 50 cities. This is thanks to Democrats' general control of cities in America. They encourage the rioters. They won't take the measures necessary to stop them. All this damage, it's billions of dollars. I mean, there's scores of deaths, not only the deaths within the riots themselves, but because the gangs and the criminals have been unleashed because there are no cops in sight.
Yeah, we have seen clearly the increased violence there, and it will, we've seen polling for Law and Order again ranking high among voters. So it'll be interesting to see final tallies. David, we're out of time today, but I appreciate you as always weighing in. Thanks so much. David Horowitz, thank you. You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.